Is the future of the Texas quarterback room in jeopardy? This might be a crazy thing to ask, but it is a reality currently. Arch Manning has been the generational type guy everyone has touted. He's currently the quarterback there. Texas is fine, but let's draw it back a little bit and think about Quinn Ewers just went in the 7th round of the NFL draft, and he was touted as the perfect prospect. Nothing could be better about his game. 24/7 Sports rated him as a 1,000. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today. This is a place where we talk about college football, NFL football, and we break down how much fun this sport is and hopefully teach you something a little bit or just give you a reason to love the sport of college football and NFL football a little bit more. Again, we just said it. Quinn Ewers goes in the 7th round of the NFL draft, and we very much know that his NIL value would have been more than $5 million. He could have gone to play football somewhere else. And why is this a concern for Texas football? When we have college football quarterbacks that are coming out of high school where they dreamed of going to that school. Think for a second about a couple of very famous quarterbacks that ended up winning Heismans, that had terrific college careers, that ended up playing for their favorite school. Matt Leinart was from Santa Ana. He goes to play at USC. Johnny Manziel is from Tyler, Texas. Johnny, football, right? He goes to Texas A&M. Tim Tebow is from Jacksonville, ends up playing for the Florida Gators. Guys that grow up with their favorite college football team, the first place that they could play for is exactly where they end up playing. It is a realistic possibility that if they're good enough to go and play for their dream school, that they just might have dreams of going to play in the National Football League. So that gives us a list of 3 things of why you play college football, the 3 reasons, no matter of what your position is. You love football, you love playing this sport, and you want an opportunity to keep playing the sport that you love and then get the benefits of being a college athlete. Number 2, the second reason would be I get to potentially go play for my dream program. I get a chance to go play to the place where I grew up watching, and this is a school that I love and enjoy. And especially now, I have the chance to earn a little bit of money if I go play college football. And the third, if you're that good, you have the chance to build your stock and eventually one day be drafted high in the NFL draft. Few guys are able to check off the second box and especially that third box. So they have all the tools, and they're a guy like Quinn Ewers that grew up a Texas fan and it's good to go there, ends up going to Ohio State, transfers to Texas, and goes to play for his dream school. Has that perfect prospect label where he has a realistic chance of being taken high in the NFL draft. I mean, for the vast majority of these guys that are recruited to go play, that are getting the chance to earn money now, you would be lying to yourself if you did not think that it crosses their mind that, is there a chance that I might not get to the NFL if I go play for my dream school? And they haven't had a good history of producing guys to that position. Just think about the most relevant example of what we have in college football right now. Jeremiah Smith is from Miami Gardens, Miami, and Miami was that favorite school, that place that he would have thought to go. But what about that draft success rate of the Ohio State Buckeyes with the first round wide receivers? At that point, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Marvin Harrison, all of these players had come through that program. We can go a little bit further with Terry McLaurin and go back even deeper. Jeremiah Smith decides to go play for the school with that third level that's going to develop him into being a first-round talent. That's because he checks off that box, being good enough to play college football, being good enough to go and play where he wants to. So now he's making a decision, do I go play for the place where I have a chance to play in the NFL? That's the same exact thing that happens for these quarterbacks. And the fact that that number 1 guy, the number 1 recruit in the country, Quinn Ewers, wound up a 7th round pick. And it's not like the success wasn't there. Quinn Ewers made it to back-to-back college football playoff semifinals. And he had relatively good seasons, but it wasn't until Arch Manning got there to put some fire in the burner where we realized that it's going to have to stick with Quinn. He had a little bit of injuries to deal with. Ended up not starting, if you remember, against Kansas State, a game they almost lost to Will Howard in 2023. Malik Murphy ends up stepping in last year, a couple of games. Arch ending up coming in there. But again, you might be saying that, look, Quinn went to Ohio State. It wasn't like he went outright to Texas, but he wound up at Texas. He ended up going to play for the quarterback whisperer, the offensive guru that is Steve Sarkisian. And then we add the elements of talent. Think about the amount of talent that Texas has had. Very comparable to the Ohio State Buckeyes. That's why that was a matchup game this past season when they went toe-to-toe. Quinn Ewers, his wide receivers that he's been able to throw the ball to. Xavier Worthy, first-round pick. He had Isaiah Bond, 4.4 speed. He had A.D. Mitchell to throw the football to. He had Matthew Golden, who just went to the Green Bay Packers, 23rd overall pick. I mean, these are very talented players. Gunnar Helm, who just got drafted to the NFL. A good running back class. I mean, the offensive line was all there. He has a first-round left tackle, Kelvin Banks, goes. And he has, Cameron Williams, his right tackle, ends up getting drafted. All the pieces are around him. They've got a top-5 defense for the last 2 years. So you get what I'm saying with this. All of this success, this great roster, Texas doesn't end up winning a national championship, don't get to a natty, but you would still think if you're playing that deep into the season, your quarterback is for sure going to be sought after by the NFL. But that doesn't end up happening. Quinn Ewers almost falls out of the 2025 NFL draft altogether. So, I mean, you get where I'm going with this. If the top recruit in the country winds up at Texas, has success, plays with elite talent, and then gets picked in the 7th round by Sark the Guru, well, how is that going to impact the boxes that are going to be checked by quarterbacks that have a dream of going to play to Texas, or maybe it's not even their dream of playing for Texas. They're just considering Texas from another state where that's not their dream school. And if they're going up against a place that their dream school is maybe USC or Oklahoma or Ohio State currently with what they're doing, Alabama with what they're doing with quarterbacks, then it's going to be a lot tougher. Look, I'm not hating on Texas. I'm just stating out loud the concerns of what elite prospects are going to have, what's going to be running through their mind when they're in the process of deciding where they're going to play college football. So to wrap all this up, I mean, what awaits Texas is a season where the expectations, specifically at the quarterback position, but overall, I mean, they haven't had those in a long time down there. I mean, specifically, again, for Arch at the quarterback position, for Sark being in the process of recruiting guys for the future or to develop players so that they're going to be set for the next 5 to 10 years. This is a season where they have the second best odds to win the national championship and the best odds to win the Southeast Conference, where they're going to need to check off some of those goals and need to have success, because another type of year where there's a little bit of inconsistency at the quarterback position, where there's a game like Texas had against a team at home like they had against Georgia, where the position just looked like they were completely outmatched, where your starting quarterback ends up getting benched. I mean, what's expected by this team this year? I can't remember in my lifetime where there was a season where they were needing to really put together a good year just for the future of the quarterback position. We're talking about a Heisman caliber type season and making a deep run into the college football playoff, which is going to be absolutely necessary because the defensive side of the ball is all there. But again, it's tricky because you lost a whole bunch of talent on offense, a little bit on the defensive side of the ball, and this is Arch's first year being able to start. This video is going to lead into another Texas video where we break down exactly what the full expectations are and going through that step by step. But right now, if you're a Texas kid and thinking about going to that school, you know, every single one of them in the back of their mind is like, well, I was a huge Quinn Ewers fan, ends up going the 7th round. Well, why did that happen? Having that just be in the back of the minds of the kids wanting to play at Texas is not a positive. Thank you so much for watching this video. Had a whole bunch of fun preparing for it, making it. Again, not hating on Texas, just stating the realistic concerns of what kids are going to have. Make sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments, am I completely overreacting, exaggerating to Quinn going in the 7th round, or do you a little bit agree with what we are saying here? Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.